Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Sometimes Serious podcast. My name is Lexi, and I'm very glad that you're here today. There's so much going on in the world right now that is horrific to watch. I feel like it's so dystopian what is happening right now. It's terrible. It's all terrible. I was gonna do an episode on things that I'm annoyed with lately, but that felt wrong and just like it wasn't needed. I just don't wanna be any way that's going to make people feel more anxious or more negative, so I thought that I would spread a little bit of positivity. Just so we can all be angry together for a moment. Literally, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Okay, I wanted to say that, but I do want to keep this episode positive or just not talking about that. So, today I wanted to talk about some ways to take care of yourself during these times. Some of these might sound a little cliche or redundant, or you've heard it before and just never do it. So I'm sorry about that. But I also wanted to include some just like fun ways to just kind of take a break from the media. The first coping mechanism I want to talk about is animals. And now I know this sounds like really cliche, like go spend your time in nature or go volunteer somewhere. But I feel it's a little deeper. The purity of animals is something that will literally never compare to humans. Like, in my mind, animals do no wrong. Like, I know it's terrible. Like, an animal could literally bite me and I'd be like, they're just misunderstood. The purity of animals is something that's just like, it's never going to compare to people. So, spend time around animals. They're always so willing to give you love. They're always so willing to be excited to see you. Like, go volunteer at your local pet shelter. Go visit a friend specifically for their pet. Pamper your pet. Like, go give it hugs and love. Sing to it. Redo it. I don't know. Just, like, spend time around things that are happy. I don't know who doesn't love animals. I mean, like, think about it. A dog can't sit there and talk with you about everything that's going wrong in life or in the country or in the world right now, which I love talking to my friends, but I find myself a lot talking about politics because I'm stressed out about it or I'm really concerned about what's happening. And I think it's healthy to talk about it, but at the same time, if that's all I'm talking about, I know I need to like step back and be like, I'm making myself more anxious by talking about it because I'm just finding more things that are wrong. Being around animals just kind of gets me to focus on something else because they're not worried about politics. I mean, like, they're just there. They're there to love you, they're there to play with you, they're there to keep you joyful. So I would recommend just going and sitting with animals, being with animals, even if you literally just go on a walk and just look at the birds and just be like, oh my god, what are they doing in their bird lives right now? Like, it's so wholesome. They're all so wholesome. So just allow yourself to feel that joy. The next thing I have is to dance in your room with headphones on or the music blasting. And I know it's like I don't feel like getting up or that's really cringe. But when you romanticize it and when you think about it on a deeper level, it is one of the most like fun things that you can do. You're by yourself. It's like you're in a 2000s coming of age movie. You're getting movement, which not to be that bitch, but you're staying like moving, which brings you dopamine and endorphins because you're exercising. And dopamine's your reward chemical. Endorphins is your natural painkillers that your body gives you. But you'll get that also from the song. Well, you'll get dopamine from the song because if you turn on your favorite song, that's why it's your favorite song. Because you get dopamine from it. Fun fact. I know you guys wouldn't understand that since you're not a psychology major like me, but moving on. I know that it's stupid, but it's fun. It's wholesome. It brings you back to when times were easier. You don't even have to dance, just lay on your floor and just listen to your favorite song. Like, it just takes you away for a couple minutes. And it's one of my favorite things to do when things are feeling like shit. The next one I use a lot, and it sounds, again, silly, but just Use nostalgia to your benefit. I know it's a slippery slope because when you feel nostalgic, you're like, oh my god, that's when times were easier. Oh my god, I didn't have to worry about that 10 years ago. But you can also use it for your benefit. I keep seeing posts on like TikTok and Instagram, me literally talking about how you shouldn't be on your phone. Anyways, I saw TikToks and reels on Instagram just like, oh, to be a teenager in 2016 or be a famous YouTuber in LA in 2016. And I'm like, damn, I did really want that life. Or be like, I wanted to be a teen in 2014 where I got to dress in all pink and drink Starbucks and just like those kind of nostalgic vibes. And it's like, why not just bring them back for yourself? Not that you have to dress like it's like 2014 or 2016 outside, but like when you're in your house, put on an outfit that would have been like, this is what I wear on my lazy day for a YouTube video. You know? Like, do fun shit like that. Make a playlist of all your favorite songs from when you were a kid. That, I literally have one called Nostalgia for that reason, and it's just a bunch of 2010 music. Do old TikTok trends, which I know it's literally been 5 years since COVID, which is like far but also not. But do old TikTok trends from then. Spend a morning or night like it's 2015. Because why not? Like, do a themed sleepover with your friends and you're all gonna act like it's 2015. Or just do a night routine like you would have saw from like Alicia Marie or Bethany Moda and just live like that for a night. Because again, why not? There was no TikTok in 2015. I think there was Musical.ly. But like, you're not sitting there doom scrolling. Now, if you want to sit there and take Instagram pictures, fucking go for it. But also just like try to make it aesthetic because it brings happiness. One of my favorite things to do when things get stressful and I just need that sense of nostalgia is I go back and watch channels that I used to watch when I was younger. A lot of the time they're like pretty unbearable to watch, like we know you didn't sleep in a full face of makeup. Why is everything such high saturation? Like, I get it. But also it's like, oh my god, I used to love this YouTuber and I used to have my morning routine like theirs, or I used to have my night routine like theirs, or I would try to wear outfits like them. And it just like, it's fun and it's nostalgic, which I know is literally all I'm talking about, but it's just so, it's wholesome. It brings me back, and I know it's like a silly way to cope with things, and some people might call it regression, but we move on anyways. The last thing I have, which everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, she's telling me to stay off my phone again, but stay off your phone. And for me, it's really unrealistic to stay off social media all day, or to try to say I'm gonna stay off my phone today, or be like I'm gonna delete TikTok or Instagram for a week, because I know that I'll just go back and re-download it. And I also know that like setting time limits just doesn't work, at least for me, because I'll just say, okay, I reached my time limit and move on. Like, it doesn't block me out of doing it. I set the notification a year ago to like tell me when I've been on TikTok for an hour that day or Instagram that day, and every single time I just close out of it. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me. So, one thing I wanted to do was learn how to stay off my phone, but also make it realistic. My biggest concern for like staying off of my phone is I feel like I won't be informed or I won't know what's going on if I don't like stay on my phone or if I take a break from social media, which is completely valid, and I know a lot of people that feel the same way. So what I've started doing, instead of telling myself I'm going to stay off my phone for the day or stay off social media for the week, is just a couple nights a week having a no media hour evening. For this, I created a list of things that I can do that don't involve my phone nor involve the news or anything. I made a list such as like playing my ukulele or playing my guitar or drawing or journaling, literally just anything besides being on some form of media. Even watching a movie, I feel like, is healthy because you're not sitting there scrolling. But literally, just a couple nights a week, just taking an hour or two, or take a time block between like 5 and 8 o'clock. I'm not gonna go on social media, or I'm gonna stay off my phone. Like, I think it's more beneficial for me to stay off my phone completely, because if I'm on my phone, I'm gonna wanna go on social media. I also have a really bad habit of like online shopping but not buying anything. I just scroll through and see what I like so I can get that little dopamine rush. So I think personally for me, it's better to just like stay off my phone for an hour or two or just block out a time chunk where I'm not going to be on it. And again, I get all the worries because I get this way, just being like, what if somebody needs me? What if there's an emergency as soon as I put down my phone? And it's all valid. Or like, what if something big happens and I miss it? Especially in this day and age, I get wanting to stay informed. But taking an hour or two is not going to kill you. I promise. I honestly think it's one of the most beneficial things that I've done for myself in a while. Even every day, I try to stay off my phone for about an hour, and most of the time it doesn't happen. But if I can even get a couple nights a week where I'm just staying away from my phone, it makes it feel like a win. Because I feel like our phones have so much power over us now that we feel like we can't not have it. And so I think it's a big win, at least for me, being able to stay away from my phone, which is sad, but it's a win. A win is a win. Anyway, I hope that something in here was useful. If it wasn't, I apologize. But I hope something was. There's a lot out of everybody's control, which I know is difficult to cope with, so just making sure that you're taking care of yourself is crucial right now. Thank you so much for listening to this little surprise episode of Sometimes Serious Podcast. Don't forget to follow Sometimes Serious Podcast on social media, and I'll see you guys next time.